Ever wondered what they teach in a university-level coaching course? Like, what are the actual secrets to being a great coach? Well, today, we're going to do just that. We're cracking open the playbook for SFS2423, the basic coaching methodology course prepared by Noor Ikmar Madrasa, and we're boiling it all down into a game plan you can actually use.
So let's start with the big question. What really separates a good coach from a truly great one? Is it just some kind of magic, raw talent? Not at all. The secret, it turns out, is having a system, a playbook. And right now, we're going to build one together.
All right, so where do we even begin with this playbook? It's not with the drills, not with the fancy strategies. Nope. It starts right here, with the foundation. We have to start with the why, that core philosophy that guides every single thing a great coach does.
So what even is a coaching methodology? Look, it's so much more than just a binder full of plays. As the course explains, it's this powerful mix of hard science and the delicate art of leadership. It's the entire framework that everything else is built on. And you've got to think about it, right? A coach is never just one thing. They have to be a leader, a teacher, a mentor, a strategist, and yeah, a role model, sometimes all in the same 5 minutes. It's a massive responsibility, and every single one of these roles is absolutely essential for success. Okay, so now that we have our foundation, our why, let's shift gears and get into the what. This is the science of training. This is the engine room, you know? This is where the actual physical improvement happens.
You know, at the very heart of all physical training, it really just comes down to two simple ideas: overload and progression. Just think about it like lifting weights. To get stronger, you have to lift something heavier than your body is used to. That's overload. But then as that gets easier, you have to add a little more weight, and that's progression. It's this constant, beautiful cycle of challenge, adapt, repeat.
So, okay, overload and progression are great for week-to-week gains, but what about the big picture? I mean, how do you make sure your team is at its absolute best for the championship game, not just the first game of the season?
Well, the answer to that big question is this word, periodization. This is the master plan for the whole season. It's all about logically and systematically planning everything out so your athletes hit their peak performance at the exact moment it matters most. It's a game changer.
And here's the magic of how it works. You start big with the macro cycle. That's your entire season from start to finish. Then you break that down into mesocycles, which are these specific training blocks, maybe a few weeks long. And then you get down to the microcycle, your individual training week. It's this top-down approach that makes sure every single practice, every drill, has a purpose.
All right, so we've got the science down. But you know, the best plan in the world is totally useless if you can't actually teach it to your athletes. So now we move from the what to the how, the art of teaching and the very human side of coaching.
At the core of all great teaching is this incredibly simple yet powerful loop. You plan, you implement, and you evaluate. You map out the session, you go out and run it, and then, and this is the key part, you step back and ask, okay, what worked, what didn't? This little cycle is the engine that drives constant improvement for both the coach and the team. When it comes to teaching, coaches basically have two main tools in their toolbox. You've got your drill-based approach, where you isolate one specific skill and just rep it out to perfection in a controlled setting. Then you have the game-based approach, which teaches that same skill, but in the chaos of a simulated game. A great coach knows exactly which tool to pull out and when. But here's the real bottom line. You can have the best drills, the most scientific plan, but it all means nothing without good communication and a strong team culture. That's the leadership piece. That's what turns a group of talented individuals into a real championship team. Okay, so we've talked philosophy, we've talked science, and we've talked art. We have all the pieces of the puzzle. Now, let's put it all together and see what this game plan actually looks like in action.
See, a coach's job doesn't just stop at the edge of the field. There is this huge administrative side of things, planning schedules, managing gear, making sure everyone is safe. This is that crucial behind-the-scenes work that allows everything else to happen.
And here's how that big idea, periodization, plays out over a whole season. You start in the preparatory phase, just building that solid base of fitness and skill. Then you move into the competitive phase, where the focus shifts to peaking for games. And finally, you have the transition phase, which is so important for active rest and recovery. This cycle keeps the team fresh and sets them up for long-term success.
So after all this, all the planning, all the science, all the teaching, what's the ultimate goal? I think this quote just says it all. Great coaching isn't about creating followers, it's about creating leaders.
It's about developing people, not just winning games.
So there it is, the basic framework for great coaching, built on a foundation of science, art, and strategy. So now, whether you're leading a team on a field or in an office, the only question left is, what's the first play you're going to put in your coaching playbook?